Chapter 1. Integrating your haunted house into the community. You'll have a lot of fun building a haunted house attraction if you enjoy using your imagination and entertaining people. Haunted houses provide patrons with hours of enjoyment every year, keeping kids out of trouble and giving families something to do before the cooler winter weather hits. Haunted houses actually help patrons release negative emotions and experience adventure in a relatively safe environment. You'll be operating your haunted house with a team of volunteers or paid employees. These volunteers and/or paid employees should thoroughly enjoy the fellowship of working with each other to scare hapless victims during the Halloween season. Your haunt staff should experience a good feeling of being part of a cohesive group. That feeling should help you retain your staff members from one year to the next. Though many people who see or hear your marketing will only think about the theme of your haunted house, a haunted house is actually a lot more than just a place where people go to get scared. The people who work for your business and patronize your business have the opportunity to do something unique with friends and family, which has a positive impact on the community where your haunted house is located. It's important to understand that your haunted house provides a sense of community to the people who work there. That sense of community will be key in volunteer recruitment and retention. Also keep in mind that your haunted house plays a role in the community where it is located, and that working against the community that it serves will only create havoc for a haunted house that is trying to establish itself. You can start thinking about building community even before you know where your haunted house is going to be located. If you're doing your haunted house as a fundraiser, then you've obviously realized how a haunt can benefit an organization or community. But if you're planning to build a for-profit haunt, consider ways that your haunted house can benefit the vicinity around where it is located. For example, plan to give a portion of your profits to nearby schools. Donate to the local police department or other emergency organizations that serve the area. Do a canned food drive. Patrons who bring a can of food get $1 off their ticket price. Make an effort to give teens something to do during the Halloween season. Light up a bonfire and offer drinks and snacks and a place for kids to hang out. Contact nearby churches to offer them the opportunity to visit the haunt on a special youth group night with activities that will interest them specifically. Getting schools involved in your haunt plan. Local schools can provide you with volunteers or paid employees during your on-season. Teenagers particularly enjoy scaring in haunted houses. You can contact nearby schools and offer to donate a percentage of your profit to the program of their choice. This is both a public relations move as well as an altruistic community-building gesture that will help you put down roots in your community. Submit a press release to local newspapers about the donation that you're making to nearby schools so that people in the community know that when they spend money at your haunt, that some of those funds go back to the schools. Send out a press release before your haunt opens. Send out a press release after you've made your donation to the local schools. Donations to the local schools will help you gain permission to put up flyers marketing your event to teens and junior high kids, as well as flyers marketing volunteer scare actors positions that are available in your haunt. The combination of volunteer recruitment and marketing of your actual event makes the amount of money that you donate to local schools worth every penny. Community churches and youth groups. Sometimes religious groups will resist the development or support of a haunted house. It is helpful for you to know a bit about the history of haunted houses if this happens to you. The haunted house was developed originally to convert wayward souls back to Christendom. This surprises some people. The first haunted house was actually called a hell house, and it depicted the various deadly sins and how people must suffer for them. Scenes from hell were also included in the first hell houses as well. At the end of the hell house was a short discussion about Jesus and an opportunity for patrons to repent their sins and be saved. This part of the hell house was thought of and portrayed as heaven. Hell houses are still in existence today. They tend to be run by church groups or Christian religious groups in the days leading up to Halloween. Haunted houses were inspired by hell houses and, as mentioned above, can be beneficial to a number of community organizations while keeping teens off the street and out of trouble in October. Citing the obvious correlations between haunted houses and hell houses is valuable if you find yourself in a situation where a nearby church group is working against you. If there is a large church in your community that actively resists the development of a haunted house where you've decided to set up shop, you will either have to do some public relations work or move your haunt. Think carefully about going to war against an entity as firmly rooted as the Christian church in our society. If you want to put together a haunt in order to have fun and entertain people, it might be best to move to a different location rather than putting up a fight. Most churches will actively embrace the development of a haunted attraction as long as it isn't named Satan's Fields of Hell or the Devil's Haunted Warehouse or anything like that. In fact, you can offer to have churches bring their parishioners for free during off hours to use your haunt as the traditional kind of hell house to further their cause. Youth group leaders tend to enjoy the opportunity to take their kids to a haunted house. Indeed, it will be worth your time to market to youth groups in your area. Many youth group leaders take their members through the haunt and then talk about the perils and tribulations of hell over ice cream and treats afterwards. Many of the youth group members will come back on their own later with friends or family and spend money in your haunt a second time. So you definitely need to give churches and youth groups some thought and consideration when you move into a community. Safety first, entertainment second. As a haunted house owner, providing a safe environment is what actually makes the fun and the fear possible. Your patrons want to be afraid, but they also want to be safe, no matter how out of control patrons get. It's your job to make the safety of the haunted house happen for everyone, including paid staff, volunteers, patrons, and yourself. The haunted house has evolved over the years into something that provides people with a chance to experience the exhilarating feeling of terror in a relatively safe environment where they won't actually get hurt. If you're looking at building a haunted house, remember that safety comes first and entertainment comes second. Your patrons can only enjoy the fun of being horrified and sick with fear if they know or believe that nothing will actually hurt them. Having a reputation for keeping your patrons safe will help you get your haunt off to a good start in your community. Below is a short list of safety measures you'll be accountable for when your haunt opens in October. Have a fire plan and be aware that a fire can happen in your haunt. Be prepared for violence. People will show up drunk or high and ready to start fights inside or outside your haunted attraction. Patrons or scare actors could have medical emergencies inside or outside your haunt. Plan where and how emergency vehicles and personnel can reach your haunt in case an emergency happens.